simply an item of athletic apparel. But for Canadians, the symbolism flows much deeper. There are two colors, and their contrast is as stark as that between the two competing ideologies. On the upper back of each skater was a single word, the proud reminder of nationalistic ideals and beliefs. On their shoulders, however, was a responsibility, one that molded them into a team as closely knit as the tightly woven fabric of their uniforms. The sight of this jersey evokes a scene treasured by every Canadian, regardless of background or age.
Marcotte has it on that wing. Here's a shot. Henderson made a wild stab for it, fell. Here's another shot. Right by the score. Henderson has scored for Canada.
Now, 12 and a half years later, the men who became one with that sweater as their bond reunite to play once again as a team as the spirit returns.
The spirit returns. Team Canada 72 reunited against an all-star squad.
To a sold-out Maple Leaf Gardens. A few words about what you'll see tonight. First and foremost, this is the reunion of Team Canada 1972, the original Team Canada, and certainly the most famous Team Canada. And how best to reunite that team? To lace the skates on for another test against a team of NHL All-Stars, the greatest of whom is now with Ron Hewitt.
I think it's appropriate when the All-Star dressing room with one of the greatest All-Stars of all time in hockey fans' minds. That is number 9, Gordie Howe, now lacing on the blades for the big game tonight. You've done that a few times, Gordon.
I'm puffing hard.
Don't bend over too long.
Oh,
all right, tonight.
Harry asked me if I go blank when I lean over. But
Team Canada 72 against the All-Stars. We're going to see some competitive hockey, Gordon?
you will, because it's within us. You know, you can't spend that many years competitive spirits and then come out there with the excitement and not generate something. So yes, you will see that with a lot of fun.
And of course, the All-Stars are going out to win.
Yes, definitely, and I think the other side are too.
All right, Gordie, nice to have you here. Thank you. Gordie Howe, number 9 in the All-Stars.
John Davidson in the Team Canada dressing room along with Phil Esposito. Phil, conditioning going to be a problem?
Oh, no. We're really in great condition for this one. It'll be fun, we hope.
Why did you pick Toronto for the reunion?
Well, I think because probably we won our first game here, and secondly, Harold Ballard give us the rink free.
Good reasoning. Are the line combinations going to be as close as possible from the team in 72?
As close as we can get them, because we have some guys that are working and some guys that are injured that can't play. So we're going to try to keep them as close. Ronnie Ellis will be with Bobby Clarke and Paul Henderson. That line probably be together, and Parisi and I and Cashman, who played here in Toronto together. So
Have fun.
okay, we will.
Back to Dave Hodge.
Phil Esposito was one of 13 Hockey Hall of Fame members who are involved in tonight's game, and the man who will call the play-by-play is as famous as many of the players who will be on the ice. We welcome Danny Gallivan to Maple Leaf Gardens for the Team Canada 72 reunion. We'll return to Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Such as this can be stirring, and you will see that as some of hockey's all-time greats are introduced as part of the opening ceremonies at ice level.
He is the coach of Team All-Star for tonight's game, recognized by many as the player who changed the game of hockey. He spent 12 seasons in the NHL. During his career, he was selected to 9 All-Star teams. He won the Norris Trophy as best defenseman a record 8 times and twice led the league in scoring. Winner of 3 Hart Trophies, he played on 2 Stanley Cup championship teams, and in 1976 was selected as most valuable player in the inaugural Canada Cup. Bobby Orr. Recognized as one of the greatest to have played the game, his career spanned 26 seasons in the NHL. As a member of the Detroit Red Wings, he was selected to the All-Star team a record 21 times. Winner of 6 Hart and Art Ross trophies. He played on 4 Stanley Cup championship teams. His 11 league records include all-time goals, assists, total points, games played, and most seasons. Number 9, Gordie Howe. He's known as the entertainer. He played 17 NHL seasons for 6 clubs, but is best remembered for his years as a Toronto Maple Leaf, a Stanley Cup winner on 4 occasions, number 23, Eddie Shack. During a career that spanned 17 NHL seasons, this player played on 6 Stanley Cup championship teams. A 9-time All-Star, he currently stands 8th in the all-time goals scored category and still holds the Toronto Maple Leaf record for the most points by a left winger in one season, number 27, Frank Mahovlich. This player was the heart of the Philadelphia Flyers in the 1970s and led them to 2 Stanley Cup victories. In 15 seasons, he was awarded the Hart Trophy 3 times, was selected to 4 All-Star teams, and holds numerous Flyer Club records. He's now general manager in Philadelphia, number 28, Bob Clarke. He played 13 seasons in the NHL, but is best remembered for his scoring exploits as a member of Team Canada. He scored the winning goal in Games 6 and 7, and then tallied the most historic goal in Canada's hockey history, giving Team Canada a 6-5 victory over the Soviet Union, September 28, 1972. Number 19, Paul Henderson. He was Team Canada's leader in 1972. A veteran of 18 seasons, he was one of the most feared goal scorers in league history. A member of 2 Stanley Cup championship teams, he was selected an All-Star 8 times, twice winner of the Hart Trophy. He added 5 scoring titles to his collection of awards and currently stands second only to Gordie Howe in all-time goals and points, and is third in all-time assists, number 7, Phil Esposito.
Build-up to tonight's game. Now you've met the leading participants. The action is just moments away. We'll be back at Maple Leaf Gardens.
It's away from the start of what should be a historic game. The All-Stars and Team Canada 72. I'm excited, John.
It's going to be a great time, Danny. It's great to see these people play.
And there you have the officials, Bruce Hood and Bill Friday. I'll let you look after the goalies.
That sounds good. The referee's in good shape, smiling, ready to go. On your left, Tony Esposito. Danny, he was telling me before the game this will be the last time he's ever going to put the pads on and play goal. On your right, Jimmy Rutherford, who is now the general manager of the Windsor Spitfires in the Ontario Hockey League.
So 2 very confident goalies starting this game. We look over there at Eddie Johnston, and behind him, the incomparable Bobby Orr. And these 2 individuals, of course, were big factors in Stanley Cup victories for Boston in 1970 and again in 1972. And there's Bobby. He looks well.
He sure does. I saw him on the commercials during the Super Bowl. He looked absolutely terrific, really enjoying life. He wishes he could play, but injuries do not allow him to play, and he's going to be part of it anyway, he said.
And the game is underway. And for Team Canada, we have Esposito out there with Cashman and Mahovlich, broken up by McKenzie. Coming up over the line with Richard. Over on this side for the All-Stars. Howe taken into the boards rather gently. And Mahovlich, a back feathery pass that Stapleton couldn't pick it up. And there's some pressure here at the beginning of the game by the All-Stars. And this place tonight, the atmosphere is saturated with nostalgia. What a lineup of hockey greats of yesteryear. And here's one of them, one of the more entertaining players. A pass right out in front, and it went wide off Richard's stick. Esposito coming down. On the right side is Cashman. Let's see what Espo will do with it. He still has it. And now it's Richard clearing it for a shot. We're just underway. Howe takes the pass for a fraction of a second and then lost it. So they are now changing while the play goes on. Cashman digging in over the All-Stars line. Passes it to Mikita. Good move by Mikita. And he is a classy hockey player still. Here's Mikita trying to get in front. Loose puck. And covering up is Rutherford. And what an enormously fitting tribute for Paul Henderson before this game started.
The standing ovation was wonderful, Danny. He remembers it like it was yesterday, and it was a very special part of his life.
Bergman fired it wide. No score in the hockey game. Parise, he comes from Smooth Rock Falls. I always wondered what Smooth Rock Falls looked like. So we're going up there for a visit sometime, John. But Parise, he came into that series in '72 after 3 games. He came in along with Goldsworthy and Cashman. And he was very good. There's Redmond firing at it. Rebound picked up by Daly ahead to Duff. Duff cleared it into the center ice area. Dennis Hull, he still has that big shot. He's in close. He scores! Hull!
And you can see the smile on Dennis Hull's face. He's known around the banquet circuit now as the comedian, and that he is. John Ferguson's got to be smiling. His club's off to a 1-0 lead. Dennis Hull takes the puck to the outside around Bob Daly, formerly of the Flyers and the Vancouver Canucks. Watch the puck went off the goalpost. I think maybe Jimmy Rutherford was thinking top corner. He was going to shoot that puck. Look at the speed. Dennis just turns it on, goes right to the outside. Backhand off the post. Rutherford down. 1-0 Team Canada.
You're watching the Spirit Returns from Maple Leaf Gardens.
Could not dress. I know you're disappointed because the excitement's there tonight, Rick.
Yeah, the guys are a little out of shape, but everybody's giving it their best, and it's a fun game to watch.
All right, you're behind the bench. How are you making out with Bun Love and Fergie?
I'm not quite used to being back there. It's a little different, you know. It's a different perspective watching the game from back there.
Great night for Team Canada 72. Rick Martin, thank you.
Thank you.
So, Team Canada leading 1-0. And we have 11 minutes and 52 seconds left in the opening period. McKenzie firing it in there. Stanfield couldn't corral it. And the puck back down the ice. There's that grand veteran of New York Ranger days, Howe. He cleared it to the right side.
Danny, I was in the Team Canada dressing room before the game, and they were having their cups of coffee sitting around. Not too much noise. They were quite up and ready for this hockey game. A little bit nervous, as a matter of fact. Some of the players were commenting about the big crowd.
They score! Henderson, he does it again. And that is 4 consecutive games in which he has scored. He got the winning goal in each of the last 3 games in Moscow.
Well, he scored 236 goals in his playing days. And look how quickly he shot the puck. Startles the goaltender, Jimmy Rutherford. I guess you just don't lose that goal-scoring touch. A good shot, a quick shot by Paul Henderson. That certainly makes the folks here in Toronto happy.
Paul Henderson and Bobby Clarke, time 3:37.
So there's the time of the goal. Henderson getting it, and he looks extremely fit. Number 19, 11-11 the time left in the opening period, and what grand and glorious memories must flood the minds of these great hockey players as they recapture, even though fleetingly, the glory years of their youth in the National Hockey League, and particularly for Team Canada. Vivid memories recalled as they associate again about that enormous series played with the Soviets in 1972. There's an icing called against Team Canada. You're watching the Spirit Returns from Maple Leaf Gardens.
This is what it's all about, entertainment, and here's Eddie Shack. Eddie, you at least are having a good time. It's exciting for you.
Well, it's hard to get your second win sometimes, and And when you do, you got to pump the old heart a little bit. But it's a great time, a great bunch of guys, and I'm just really enjoying it.
You got a tremendous ovation, Ed. You're still a favorite here in Toronto.
Oh, it's great. It's just fantastic.
Good luck. Go score one.
Team Canada, 2 All-Stars, no score. 10:35 the time remaining in the opening period. The All-Stars coming in, and they lose it. Esposito can't lug it out. Now little Lalonde going in there, and there's a penalty coming up for interference. Okay, John D.
Well, Dale Talon got caught in front of the net, in front of Tony Esposito, as Bobby Lalonde dropped the puck back in that slot area. Here's the quick pass to watch in front of the net. There you see Talon. He was a step behind the All-Star player, and he made a bit of an interference, and he's in the penalty box. We'll see that penalty killing of Team Canada 72 work out a little bit now.
Team Canada penalty to number 32, Dale Talon.
Bobby Orr not really upset, is he, Danny?
4:36. Dale Talon for interference.
Here's Howe shooting it, and it hit a leg in front. And the power play alignment for the All-Stars. They have Robert out there. He's playing defense. He was a great scorer when he was playing up front, particularly with Buffalo. We have a Howe on defense also. Up front, Lalonde. I guess he's still the most diminutive hockey player in the game. What have we got going here?
I'll tell you one thing that's fun to watch with these hockey clubs is the fact that they don't wear helmets, or most of them don't, and you can identify with them quite well. Walter Tkachuk, you can see him wearing a helmet. You know, one time he was with the Rangers. We were playing here in Toronto, went out for warm-up, and Walter had put white tape around the blue helmet, and it said Walter Tkachuk Hockey School, St. Mary's, Ontario, and where to get a hold of him. He was still free advertising.
And here's Shack in on the left side. Swings a pass in front. Stapleton clearing it out. Mickey Redmond has it. So you might say the show is officially underway. Shack is on the ice. And the Toronto fans always love Eddie Shack. There he is, cutting in on the left side. He's fired it. And a save on the short side. Puck back in the center ice area, rolling down the ice. McKenzie back for it. The All-Stars are on the power play and lugging it in over the line. Number 8, Robert on the backhand. He swings it in there. A ricochet. Richard comes up with it. He takes a look. Cleared it. They score! And it's McKenzie. And that was about waist high, wasn't it?
It sure was. A power play goal for Team All-Star. Watch Jimmy McKenzie in front. He's going to bat it right out of midair. It's up around his knees. Watch a little flip pass. I guess that's the only way the pass is going to come out of the corner from Henri Richard. With Pat Stapleton in the road, he had to flip it up over top. Not a bad play, Danny.
You're watching the spirit returns from Maple Leaf Gardens.
I'm very, very impressed so far, and I know you are.
Well, that's exactly right. These people haven't lost the intensity and the desire to win, and we had a little bit of a meeting before the game. We came here, let's win it. We might as well not embarrass ourselves in front of this great crowd.
You've played before Tony Esposito before. He's going to be a little upset if you don't come back.
Exactly right. He likes to scream and yell at you if you're not doing the job, and he's going to be doing some screaming if we don't pick things up.
And it is Team Canada 2, Hull and Henderson scoring, and the All-Stars 1, McKenzie getting the goal. We have 25 seconds left in this, the opening period, and very spirited hockey by these two teams. Crowd-pleasing hockey, especially the last 5 minutes or so. Parise tried to feed it in there. Selwood ahead to Altman with Bathgate. And it's intercepted, that pass, intended for Bathgate. Stapleton knocked it to center. Now, this is the end of the first period. So the score after 1 period, Team Canada 2, the All-Stars 1.
It's 2-1 after 1 period. Scored the first 2 goals. Dennis Hull and then Paul Henderson, and Jim McKenzie replied for the All-Stars. The impact of international hockey is best seen by 1972 and by this reunion, and the impact of international hockey on the careers of individuals, I think, is best demonstrated by Bob Clarke, who went to the Team Canada training camp in '72, a somewhat unknown, struggling NHL player, and emerged as a national star. What difference did it make to your career, do you think?
Well, I think it's brought me to play at a level higher than I was certainly playing at. It gave me the confidence to know that I was as good as the players that I was playing with at the time, who were the best players in the country.
And you played with, as you're playing with tonight, Paul Henderson and Ron Ellis, a line that also came together very much similar to the way the team came together, right?
Yeah, well, at the start, we were the last line, I guess, and I was the last player chosen. And I don't think that they expected us to play that much. We were going to be a checking line and work hard. And I think because they left us together and because we didn't think we were going to play that much, we worked extra hard, and we were probably in better shape than most of our players at the start of the series, and then they couldn't get us out.
Your current boss, Ed Snyder, has some very definite thoughts on what should happen in the future as far as international hockey is concerned. Where do you think we're going with respect to playing the Soviets on a regular basis?
I think it's going to be difficult to play them on a regular basis because I think they take so much out of the players that go into those series. It's very hard to do it year after year. I think once every 4 years is enough. Certainly, if you could play them for the Stanley Cup every year, you'd have a worldwide television audience. It would be tremendous. But I just don't see any way they could make it work.
Would the feeling ever disappear if you were out on the ice against them? I mean, will you ever forget?
No. Something like that, to be a part of a team that won in '72 like we did, and to go through the adversity and to become real close with people who are normally our opponents and stuff, those are things that are once in a lifetime. You never forget those.
It's good to relive them tonight with Bob Clarke and other members of Team Canada 72. It's 2-1 for Team Canada over Team All-Star. We'll return to Maple Leaf Gardens in just a moment. Tell you what else has gone on.
Esposito, Henderson, Howe, Clarke. Names forever etched in the minds of Canadian hockey fans. And yesterday, for the first time in 12.5 years, Team Canada 72 was reunited in a Maple Leaf Gardens dressing room. It was a time for stories and recollections of days gone by. Most of the players arrived in Toronto Thursday morning, and the scheduled 1-hour practice session turned out to be half that, as conversation outweighed a desire to scrimmage with Team All-Star. The scrimmage did take place, but not at quite the same pace as we became accustomed to in 1972. It was more of a chance for some veteran stars to stretch out muscles that have been untested in some time. The on-ice antics, which were expected, allowed everyone a chance to get into the spirit of the event, including 2 ex-Maple Leafs, Jim McKenzie and René Robert. Later that evening, a reception was held, which was highlighted by a short visit from Prime Minister Brian Mulroney, followed by a dinner which included all participants, their wives and corporate sponsors. Norm Webb was on hand to convey Molson's continuing support of hockey in Canada. And Mark Heslop, a former New York Ranger, spoke on the tremendous success of the Phil Esposito Foundation.
Without the foundation's help, there's no doubt in my mind I wouldn't be standing here today. I'd either be dead, in a hospital, or in jail. One of the three.
And finally, the man who made a major part of the evening possible, Phil Esposito, with kind words for all. The evening was a great success, and following the formal program, stories continued on into the wee hours of the morning.
One gets the feeling that this is just the first reunion of Team Canada 72. There will be others in the future, however unofficial or official the players themselves decide to make them. We'll return with more from Maple Leaf Gardens.
Mr. Coach, do you know what you're doing?
No. Hey, this is modern day coaching. I got my notes.
Oh, you got your notes. All right, you'll do well. Bobby, it's an exciting night.
It's a great night here. The guys are having a great time. I think the fans are enjoying it, but super night.
Good. Back behind the bench.
Now, into the corner, McKenzie trying to shake off Sealing. They jostle for it. Lalonde comes up with it for the All-Stars, takes a look. What is he going to do with it? He gives it to McKenzie. Over on the other side, it's kept in. Selwood to Lalonde, and he scores! Beautiful combination.
It certainly was a tricky shot by Bobby Lalonde. Bobby Orr must have had a talk with his troops between the periods, because they're certainly having a good start here, Danny. Watch a tricky little shot by Lalonde as he quickly turns around and snaps it right into the corner. Caught Tony Esposito a little deep in the net, and we have a 2-2 hockey game. Bobby Lalonde in the insurance business here in the Toronto area, having a great time out there, and certainly took advantage of his opportunity, Dan.
15, Bobby Lalonde. Assist number 5, Brad Selwood, and number 11, Walt McKenzie. Time 2:39.
2:39, the time of the goal.
Brad Selwood, Walt McKenzie. Time 2:39.
Selwood and McKechnie getting the assist, and this has definitely been an All-Stars period so far. That was a crazily bouncing puck. Rutherford is down, and he gets a face-up. What did you say was going to happen in the second period? I've already forgotten.
Well, John Ferguson, he doesn't look very happy now that his team's tied, I'll tell you that much. He's certainly having a good year with his Winnipeg Jets, but I was just saying that the puck's going to start moving around, sharper passing, more openings, good chances, and it appears that way, Dan.
Here's Talon getting set for a hard shot, rebound in front, and is fired wide by Henderson. Henderson almost had his second goal, and now the All-Stars romp into the center ice area. In over the line. It's passed back to the line. Picked up by Selwood, a shot. Big save. They score! Number 18. Ka-chunk.
Well, you can see Walter wearing the visor. He had to retire prematurely from the New York Rangers because of an eye injury. And I still think he can play in the National Hockey League now. Selwood, the rebound. Look at Kachuk show the size and the strength, off balance, fires it into the open side past Tony Esposito.
You're watching the Spirit Returns from Maple Leaf Garden. All-Stars 3, Team Canada 2. It was 2-1 for Team Canada. Right in front, there's the shot. Mikita almost tied it up. Team Canada was leading 2-1 at the end of the first period. We have 9 minutes and 55 seconds left here in the second, 3-2. The All-Stars, Big Daly, who played so well for so many years with Philadelphia. In over the line for Richard, and it is called on the offside.
The puck at Richard. In the restaurant business in the Montreal area, Danny, he works very hard at it. Plays a lot of games with the old-timers in Montreal. They play 40, 50, 60 games a year.
He has a very level disposition. Very easy man to get along with.
Yeah, very, very special, classy fellow.
Now there's Robert slashing a shot in. Big rebound, Savard got clear of it. And Robert is back there for the All-Stars, twisting and turning, trying to shake off Hull. In behind the net, a Howe. Howe playing it on the left side. Out it comes into the center ice area. Robert coming in. Savard is after him. Robert cleared it right in front. And there's going to be maybe a high sticking penalty here. Savard got that stick up fairly high. Are they going to call it?
I'm sure they're going to call it. It was a high sticking penalty. Robert's not very happy about it. It happened as they came breaking down that left side of the ice. Savard was beaten.
You're watching the Spirit Returns for 1:22, the time remaining in this, the second period. And the Phil Esposito Foundation has to be terribly happy. There's Howe shooting it. Big save by Esposito. These Toronto Maple Leaf fans have turned out in large numbers tonight, a capacity crowd. Now there's Dick Duff running into Glennie. Less than a minute to go in the second period. 3-2 for the All-Stars. Frank Mahovlich on the left side. Mahovlich cutting. Gets it in front to Cashman, a loose puck. After it is Esposito, but Rutherford covers up.
You can see Bobby reaching back, talking to the fans. Bobby Orr, great ambassador in the sport of ice hockey. Very good friends with Prime Minister Mr. Mulrooney. A little bit of action here down around Jimmy Rutherford, the goaltender for the Team All-Star. Look at the speed by the big M. Frank Mahovlich comes around. You can see the goaltenders. Look at everybody struggle in front, taking bodies, falling down. These two teams are right involved. You see Phil Esposito in front. He got his 500th career goal against Jim Rutherford.
There are 45 seconds left in the second period, 3-2 for the All-Stars. First period belonged to Team Canada. The second period, this period, dominated by the All-Stars. There's Rutherford slapping it away from Henderson. Robert clearing it out to the line. Robert has been skating very well tonight.
Well, he should. He's still one of those young guys in the lineup, Danny. He's doing a pretty good job. Rene Robert is involved with Molson's Brewery here in the area. Brad Selwood's got himself a couple of assists.
But age does not seem to be a determining factor when you talk about Gordie Howe. He's into his mid-50s, and he's still skating quite well.
Yeah, he sure is. A very special case when you start talking about Gordie Howe.
And now, with 20 seconds left in the period, Henderson, he has a goal, going for another one. A good glove grab there by Rutherford. Robert with a dozen seconds left. A feathery pass along the boards. It's tipped Bathgate to Ullman. Over the line, back for Bathgate, and it went behind him. Stapleton ahead into the center ice area. There's the end of the period. And so the score after 2 periods. The All-Stars 3, Team Canada 2.
Walt Tkachuk erasing a 2-1 Team Canada lead. It is now a 1-goal margin in favor of the All-Stars. And the spotlight shines again on Paul Henderson. The entire event brings back a lot of memories. I wonder if there's a specific one that flashed through your mind as you skated out to that tumultuous ovation.
Well, I don't think there was any particular one, just the nostalgia. It almost brought tears to your eyes just to see the response of the fans. It was amazing.
Every athlete in any sport wants to be what you have been for 12.5 years, a hero to a nation. The dreams come easily. Is there any way to prepare for what happens afterwards, though?
Oh yeah, I think so. I think that hindsight's 20/20. I would have prepared a lot differently than I did the first time, but I cherished it. It was a great time, and till I'm to the point right now where I don't think I've been more content in my life. I enjoy what I'm doing, and so it's been terrific. I've enjoyed a good career as a hockey player, and now I'm enjoying another one, so I'm enjoying it.
Is the impact different now than it was then? Do you relate differently to what happened?
Well, we moved back to Canada this year after 8 years in Alabama, and I still can't walk down the street. The people, can I shake your hand? They're terrific goal, but it's always nothing about the Leafs or anything like that to play with Detroit. It's always Team Canada. So I guess if I was going to do something, that was probably not a bad thing to do.
Is there something that almost overwhelms you about the fact that as long as this game is played in this country, there will probably never be one single goal that is remembered more than yours?
Yeah, I think that right now, I think this last while, it's probably dawned on me for the first time. I probably cherish it more now than I ever have. And like people have said, you know, you've written yourself into Canadian history, which I'm starting to believe maybe I have.
The obligatory question is, you're trailing now after 2 periods on a night when a lot of people expect or want you to win. Is this team going to start remembering 72 in those terms?
Well, we didn't pick that other team very well. We've only got Ronnie Ellis and Rod Sealing are the only guys in our team that consistently play overtime in hockey. And they've got about 7 guys that are playing, and of course it's showing out there. Lalonde and Rennie Robert, these guys are a little too young for us out there.
The odds have been against you before, Paul. Good luck, and thanks for sharing the memories of 72 with us and with folks across the country. The Spirit returns in just a moment. Aren't the only story tonight. Ed Kia dropped the ceremonial first puck tonight, and he is one of many ex-players who give great meaning to this evening beyond the nostalgia, which is obviously very thick. Again, we go to Ron Hewitt for the story of the Kia family and its connection with the Esposito Foundation.
Ed Kia, a man who is thankful for his years in the NHL. 6 years with the Atlanta Flames built him a reputation as a big, strong, tough defenseman. Well-versed in the fundamentals, Kia carried on his strong defensive style with the St. Louis Blues and became a great influence on the team's young defensemen. But a short trip to Salt Lake City to sharpen his game changed Ed Kia's life forever. This vigorous hit sent Kia into emergency brain surgery, a 10-day coma, followed by a long, hard road to recovery.
All I really think about is my wife, Jennifer, my 4 kids, Holly, Wendy, and Gabriel, and Heather, you know, and I hope that things are going well with them, you know, and at that time, a year and a half ago, I could say 2 or 3 words, you know, and it was a little hard at first, but I would say, no, things are going, you know, slowly.
We've had a severe role reversal where I was at home looking after 4 children and really being the suburban mother, and now that Ed is home so much more, he's especially close to the children, and the younger 2 who are home with us are, my youngest daughter just goes around the house saying, "I love my daddy," and it just really warms your heart to hear that.
It's also heartwarming to hear that the Phil Esposito Foundation has set up a trust fund for the Kia children's education.
Some of the things that we've been through since the accident haven't been pleasant, with people that we expected support from that we didn't receive it. We have daily disasters. People phone me and say, I can't believe what's going on with you. We've had all sorts of things happen, so it's been an experience, and I enjoy that somebody cares enough to show support.
It's great to hear that you know, they're coming out to really help us, not us so much, but I'm glad that they're going to take care of our kids, you know, and which is great.
We don't know down the road 20 years what's going to be happening, but it would be nice to have some assurance that the children would be able to have a college education. And I think it's of great importance in their character building.
Thanks to the Phil Esposito Foundation support, Jennifer and Ed Kia are relieved of at least one future concern.
A nice story, and one of the most important ones attached to this event tonight. We'll have more from Maple Leaf Gardens in just a moment.
And we're into the third period. There's the shot. They score! Parise deflecting and steering the shot by Mikita in there. And it's 3-3, and not so long ago we mentioned the possibility of overtime.
Well, Mickey Redmond keeps the puck in the zone for Team Canada. There you see, now watch the fine passing work. Steve Baker, who was just replaced. Jimmy Rutherford in goal, comes out at the players. Mikita slides it across, and we have a tie hockey game. Great pass work. I'll tell you what, those older fellas, they get thinking out there. That puck does all the work, Danny.
A long shot. Baker is in goal for the All-Stars, and Vachon is in for Team Canada. Loose puck right in front of the net. Here's the announcement on the goal.
Number 21, Stan Mikita, and number 20, Mickey Redmond. Time 14 seconds.
14 seconds.
Stan Mikita and Mickey Redmond. Time 14 seconds.
So is Parise from Redmond and Mikita after 14 seconds into the third period to tie it at 3. Marcotte clearing it in there. Stapleton for Team Canada rolled it down on an open wing, and it's gobbled up down there by number 5, Selwood. He's currently a color commentator on Maple Leaf radio broadcasts. I'm referring to number 5, Selwood. There's Marcotte trying to center it, and it's blocked by Stapleton. He's having difficulty against Stanfield. McKenzie back in for Stanfield. Stapleton, however, prevailed that time, and it's being lugged out slowly by Hadfield. He headmans the puck. A shot! A booming blast by Dennis Hull. And Baker got in there. There's McKenzie clearing it out over the line, and an offside. You're watching The Spirit Returns from Maple Leaf Gardens.
You're excited about tonight.
Yeah, I sure. I am excited about it because it's a sellout, and I got to thank the people here in Toronto and really everyone, because this is a good cause, and we're excited that the people still remember us.
All right, Phil, congratulations. Total sellout, and good luck for the rest of the year with the Phil Esposito Foundation. Marvelous organization.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Okay, Phil Esposito.
It is tied at 3, the All-Stars and Team Canada. This is the third period. There's a shot right on by Mickey Redmond. And number 20, Mickey, who looks 10 years younger with that new hairstyle of his. He could always shoot the puck. Now here's Shack in over the line, dropping it back. Gordie Howe. It's off his stick. And Redmond is turning on the right side. He has Mikita with him along with Parise. Back to Redmond. Redmond cutting around the net. Will he get it back to the point? Yes, he does, to Bergman, back into Redmond. Redmond handing it back to the line. Savard. His pass went over the stick of Mikita. Parise. Back to Savard. Shack tried to chop it out. He was not successful. Now here's Mikita getting it back, and it goes by everybody down the ice. That's Vachon back there, the current general manager of Los Angeles, and when he came up to the Canadians in the first playoff series against the Maple Leafs, punched him like says, Canadians can't beat us with an intermediate goalie.
I think he's intermediate in size only. What a job he's done in LA this season. I love to watch his style. Who can forget the Canada Cup save against the Czechoslovakians when it was a 0-0 score?
Now Howe at the side of the net, a bouncing puck. And Esposito takes it to the corner area. 14 minutes and 35 seconds left in the third period. The score tied at 3. White took the Esposito pass. Here's White. Watching him is Rick Smith. White centers it. But the All-Stars coming up with it. Bathgate is now on with Shack and Richard. Richard goes to the far side. Mahovlich, Cashman and Esposito for Team Canada. There's Bathgate. That's a clever pass out to Shack. Shack takes a look. Couldn't get very far. Everybody overskates it. Now Daly coming in on the right side. Dick Duff is coming up also with Alum. Alum right over front to Dick Duff. He scores! What a magnificent passing play among those three players, Dick Duff, Alum, and Bathgate.
Well, the veteran players certainly show how to pass the puck around, let the puck do the work, Danny. This is a vintage goal. Look how many players handle the puck. There's the second pass. Watch the quick movement in front. Rogie Vachon has no chance on this because of the quickness. Everybody in their position, they remember that from instinct. And look at the fine arts. Fine artists on the ice doing their craft.
You're watching the Spirit returns from Maple Leaf Gardens. For Team Canada 3, 13:32 left in this period, which is the third period. Now it's up on the left side. Dennis Hull, he got the first goal of this hockey game. The pass too far for Goldsworthy. Sealing having difficulty against Duff. Sealing gets it back to the line. It goes 4-3 the score. The All-Stars, they were outplayed by a sizable margin in the first period. They came back in the second to dominate. Now they're ahead. Bathgate shoots it. Big save. Another shot. Allman is robbed on the second shot by Vachon. It pays to come out.
Well, not many played angles better than Rogie Vachon. He hasn't played hockey since last year when he played a Masters of Hockey game in Boston. 2-on-1. Watch the rebound. Look where Rogie is. He gets mixed up with Don Awrey, but they team up to cover up the puck. And they stay within one goal. Watch Shack try and get the pass or the puck by his opposition. Look at him use his leg. Wow, he's trying to get around Gary Bergman, the defenseman. You never know what Eddie Shack's going to do on the ice.
And that's why he's called the entertainer. If we knew what he was going to do, we wouldn't come to see him again. So now, Clarke over on the right side to Ellis. He fanned on it. There's Henderson. Very dangerous line. Clarke, Ellis, and Henderson. And Team Canada needs a goal to get back on even terms. 12:27 the time remaining in the third period. And the goal by Duff, having given the All-Stars a 4-3 lead. Here's Henderson coming in. Back it goes. They score! Ellis with a quick shot set up beautifully by Henderson.
You know, Danny, these players that have amassed many years in the National Hockey League love to use that slot area, the Phil Esposito area. Watch Paul Henderson, who's having a great hockey game. He looks. Watch the puck go right over the top of Baker's shoulder before he could even move in that goal. And again, this Team Canada 1972 comes back. Look at the one-time shot, top corner, inside the post. Another beautiful, well-marbled goal.
You're watching the Spirit returns from Maple Leaf Gardens.
Team All-Star leading Team Canada 5-4. Here's the go-ahead goal by Johnny McKenzie. Watch it's a 2-on-2. Savard stays over a little bit too far. McKenzie takes liberties, moves right in, shuffle it into the open net. Look at the expression. Johnny McKenzie's got the big smile. His happiness is scoring a goal. It doesn't matter how many years you've been out of the game.
Saw the great little right winger in the days of those powerful Boston Bruins teams. He has scored. And again, the All-Stars are in front by 1 goal, 5-4. Now they start out again, led by Pocket Richard, down with Eddie, Shack, and Gordie Howe. In it goes to Shack. Shack is covered by Sealing. In on the boards. They'll get a whistle here and a face-off. in Team Canada zone. You're watching the Spirit Returns from Maple Leaf Gardens.
82 and here tonight. And Ron, some excitement again, some very, very great plays, I thought, tonight. And I think you're impressing a lot of people.
Oh, the guys come to play, even though maybe some of the fellas haven't been on the ice for a year or two. When you get out here in front of all these people, you come to play.
Must bring back a lot of memories.
Oh, fantastic. Just when we got together the other day and shook hands with the fellas, it was just fantastic.
All-Stars are leading Team Canada 5-4, 7 minutes and 35 seconds, the time left in regulation time. Marcotte getting it back to Howe. There's the shot, and it rattles off the leg of Awrey. So the accent has to be on the offense from here in for Team Canada. There's a pass in the corner by Mikita, went off Baker's stick. Ullman coming up with Duff and Marcotte. They fashioned the nicest goal of the night. Marcotte going in, takes the shot. Vachon blocked it, and the puck got caught up in the paraphernalia of Stapleton. With the result, it is called back, and the face-off will be to the left of Vachon.
And you can see the look of determination on the face of Gordie Howe, having himself another pretty good night. We were talking about games played in the National Hockey League between these two teams. Team Canada, Danny, have played over 18,000 NHL games, and the Team NHL, they've also played 18,000 over 334 games. Marvelous numbers and a lot of excitement out there because of that.
Now Henderson going in. He couldn't regain his balance. He was being hooked there by Howe. There could be a penalty here. You're watching the Spirit Returns from Maple Leaf Gardens.
And you look pretty good out there. You're still in good shape.
Well, I'll tell you what, it doesn't feel too good on the inside, Ron, but you're right about the memories. It's amazing what comes back to your mind. You listen to the national anthem, and it really brings tears to your eyes.
Right. I know that all the guys are very excited tonight. You got your work cut out for us against this team.
We sure do. I hope we can come back like we did in '72. It's a fun game, but we want to win.
All right, Mickey Redmond, thank you.
Thank you.
All-Stars 5, Team Canada 4. However, Team Canada with an opportunity to tie it up there on the power play, and Talent gets it back to Savard. Here's Savard, shoot right on, rebound, and it's cleared away. That was a good save by Baker because it was screened.
Lots of traffic in front, and part of that traffic was Paul Henderson, who's had an outstanding game. Lots of chances. Watch for Paul Henderson to see if the heroics are there once again.
And the penalty to Howe as 1 minute and 35 seconds remaining, leading the attack. Clarke over there. There's a shot by Dale Talon. And Baker holds on. So we have Talon out there with Savard, Clarke, Henderson, and Ellis, but I think we'll have some changes now.
Going to short shift them a little bit. See Dickie Duff on the bench, wiping the sweat off his face. Now scouts for the Maple Leafs. Had a good talk with him on an airplane one day, and really interested in the Leafs organization.
John Ferguson has made one change, and it's an important one. He has Mikita out there. Mikita's been handling the puck very, very well. Clarke on the face-off. However, there's nobody there at the right point to keep it in. Defending for the All-Stars, we have Marcotte along with Ullman on defense, René Robert and McKenzie down on the right side. Clarke for Team Canada rolls it in there. Ullman is being chased by Ellis. 5-4 for the All-Stars. Clarke over the other side. Talon goes to the corner. Let's see if Ellis will pick it up. He does, back in behind the net. Going after it is Henderson against McKenzie. Loose puck coming right in front. For the shot was Mikita. And somebody stuck a stick out there. He couldn't get a good shot away. However, Team Canada keeping the pressure on, and Robert will send the team that is trailing by 1 goal back down the ice. And there are 35 seconds left in the penalty. Marcotte stopping a power play rush by Team Canada. Now Selwood keeping it in there. The strategy here for the All-Stars, they're moving up. However, Frank Mahovlich comes in over the line. Mahovlich giving it off to Esposito. His shot went off the leg. Here's Savard, twisting and turning. Back it goes to Awrey, into the corner to Frank Mahovlich. And Stanfield is going to bring it out over the line. And now we have the expiration of the penalty, and the All-Stars defended very well. There weren't very many good scoring opportunities by Team Canada. And we have 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in regulation time. The All-Stars 5, Team Canada 4. Cashman is on, going in against Daly. Along the boards, McKenzie. In it goes. Stanfield to the other side. A bad pass intended for McKenzie. Daly clearing it ahead. Here's McKenzie. He has a lot of zip about him, a lot of enthusiasm. Number 19 out to Stanfield. He went for the lower corner. He didn't miss by very much. Selwood playing it back in for McKinney. The All-Stars trying to play possession now, trying to hold on to that puck. Time is becoming a terribly important factor now. 3:52 left. Here's Howe in over the line, off the boards. Hadfield a shot. Baker blocked that. McKinney playing it to the far side. Here's Dennis Hull against McKinney. They fight for it on the boards. White picks it up in the corner, takes the shot off the stick. And Team Canada could become vulnerable here, sending all their men up there.
They're trying to send all their men up. Bill White was in deep that last time, and here comes that Team All-Star.
Now, Ellis into the center ice area. Over it goes to Henderson, right in front to Ellis. And he just failed to catch up with it. Along the boards. Covering up is Robert, and the whistle goes. You're watching The Spirit Returns from Maple Leaf Gardens.
A favorite here in Toronto always is Dick Duff. And Dick, you look pretty good there tonight, and I know this is probably a highlight still in the career of Dick Duff.
Yeah, I think so, Ronnie. Anytime that we can come in the Gardens, we had a lot of good nights with all these people behind us and still behind us today. And it's been an exciting, fun game, and I thought the caliber of the game was really high.
I think you got pretty good spirit on this All-Star team.
Yeah, both. We have a lot of guys that have a lot of respect and enjoy at this time playing and having a lot of fun and looking forward to it, and it's good for a real good cause.
Dick, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Dick Duff.
The All-Stars leading Team Canada 5-4, face off of the All-Stars zone. 3 minutes and 4 seconds, the time remaining. Savard and Clarke is on, along with Savard and Ellis, and Bergman and Henderson. And wouldn't it be something if Henderson got another big goal here on the right side? Was off the boards, into the corner, Rick Smith. Playing it out into the center ice area. Kindrachuk couldn't get it. Bergman playing it back, and it's back to Bergman. Savard to Bergman. Here's Henderson grabbing it. Henderson is in over the line. Henderson over on this side. It goes to Savard. Savard into the corner. It's in right in front. And Cashman failed to deflect it in. 2 minutes and 22 seconds, the time remaining in the third period. Kindrachuk with a shot. Puck loose in front. And now the All-Stars bringing it back in there. Tkachuk over to Kindrachuk, a shot. And Tkachuk tried to deflect it in. Pressure here by the All-Stars. They would love to keep Team Canada hemmed in their own zone with 2 minutes and 3 seconds left, and the All-Stars leading 5-4.
Well, we're going to have to keep an eye on John Ferguson, whether they're going to pull a goaltender or not. I thought the pace might slow down a little bit, Danny. It certainly hasn't. Bobby Orr's got his troops ahead by 1 goal on the right side. He and Eddie Johnston talking things over. They had a lot of fun before the game, just trying to get the lines straight. You can see the expression on John Ferguson's face. He hates to lose. It doesn't matter what. You see Rogie Vachon right there with his finger up. That means around the 1 minute mark, John Ferguson's going to give him a wave. Now Ferguson waved 2 fingers, so maybe with just 2:03 left here in the third period, he might be coming out shortly. The coach will give him the wave. You can see the communication between the goaltender Vachon and the general manager coach, John Ferguson.
So for the All-Stars, we have Richard out there with Howe and Shack. Esposito is on with Cashman. Awrey. And you notice the extra forward there now for Team Canada. Mikita is the extra forward, and he has it, and he clears it over to Awrey. Awrey digging in on that left side, winding up for the shot. Who's puck in front? Let's see. They score! I think it'll be credited to Mikita.
Dan Mikita, you talk about smarts on a hockey club. Steve Baker had a little bit of trouble in goal handling that puck. Now watch the foot of Mikita as he drags it down past the goaltender. The big M took the shot. Now the puck's going to lie there. Now watch Mikita come in, drags everything right across, including his foot. Kind of a smart play by the old veteran.
Time 18-11. Stan Mikita from Frank Mahava.
You're watching the Spirit Returns from Maple Leaf Gardens. It is tied at 5. Puck loose in front of Baker. Minute and 27 seconds remaining. Stapleton takes a shot. Here's Shack trying to take it out of harm's way. Howe leading Richard into the center ice area. Richard with Gordie Howe. Here's Richard, and he tried to get it over to Howe, and a fine defensive play by Stapleton. Little Whitey Stapleton conceivably could have assured this game going into overtime. However, we still have a minute remaining. There's a shot by Shaw. Richard getting ready to the Howe. He scores! And how fitting that the daddy of them all, in every sense of the word, Gordie Howe, scores the goal to make it 6-5 for the All-Stars. 56 seconds remaining.
Well, in his professional career, Gordie Howe scored 801 goals. He had over 1,000 assists. And watch the teamwork by this team All-Star. Rogie Vachon had made a great save. Look at how he positioned himself. And look at him use the strength. They're trying to knock him over. He stands right up, positions his body perfectly. Watch how he positions his body so that his back is towards the opposition. He can shuffle the puck into the open net.
Gordie Howe.
Beautiful pass by Henri Richard, and things look a little bleak for Team Canada.
You're watching the Spirit Returns from Maple Leaf Gardens. Gordie Howe, he has just scored the goal to give the All-Stars a 6-5 lead with 54 seconds remaining. And this has been an enormously well-contested game. Vachon is out of the net. 6 attackers for Team Canada. They have it on the boards. Henderson trying to stop it, and it gets by him. It's Ellis back, playing it to Henderson. 35 seconds remaining. 6 attackers for Team Canada. 6-5 for the All-Stars. Here's Henderson coming in on the right side. Henderson takes a look. Over it goes to Cashman. Into the corner. Here's Dennis Hall trying to center it. Clarke around the net. A bouncing puck. Esposito takes a shot. It's blocked. Now, Team Canada, Ellis, he takes a shot. McKenzie clears it out. And that is going to assure the All-Stars the victory. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. 2, 1. It's all over. And the All-Stars defeat Team Canada 6-5. We'll have the Molson 3 stars in a moment.
Three stars of this game will be presented their awards by Molson Brewery sales manager Gay Stewart. And now to tell us who those 3 stars are, Danny Gallivan.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's Molson's 3 stars. Number 1, Gordie Howe. The 2nd star, Paul Henderson. And the 3rd star, Brad Selwood.
Three stars, the winning goal scorer, Gordie Howe. Paul Henderson, a goal and an assist for Team Canada. Brad Selwood assisted 3 times for the winning All-Stars. And the reason the All-Stars won, the goal at 1904 by Gordie Howe, assisted by Henri Richard and Eddie, the entertainer, Shack. Paul Henderson was a hero to an entire nation 12 years ago. And here tonight, Gordie Howe is the hero to all the players who played, because without his goal, you'd have had to play overtime. They really do like you.
Isn't that a fact? I know they, but believe it or not, the players were having so much fun out there, they wanted to go a little longer, and that's the kind of feeling we get, and the feeling came from the fans. The fans seem to appreciate it, and, you know, we're not too old to relish the appreciation which they showed upon the talents out there tonight. And there's some very fine plays and good goals and a lot of lost hair.
Just another goal for you to remember, but it's significant in at least one respect, because you were assisted by a centerman named Richard, and you tell me you've never played on a forward line with a Richard.
I'd never been on it, and Richard was, I've always admired the young guy, and I say that because he's only 48, but I've admired his play for so many years and had to chase a guy around. Now all of a sudden, I was hoping he'd come out and button hook it in, because I was holding the number 6 off there, and then all of a sudden I realized he was going to pass it, so I had to move the big body in, and there's no way they're going to move that 220 pounds of the way.
Gordie, what is a night like this, with a sellout crowd, with the feeling that was generated by these players coming tonight and had been generated through the long careers of all you fellas, what does it tell you about this game that we love so much?
Well, people hang their hats on different individuals, and I felt that way all through my life. There's a fellow out in Saskatchewan by the name of Ab Welsh. Many, many years ago, gave me a stick, a pat on the head, and an autograph, and that's been my hero all my life. And some of the people in the stands, when you stop to think that I got involved in this game way back in 46, and then you have to realize that some of those guys are aged a little. So the same admiration that I have towards the Ab Welshes and the people I remember, they feel that way about us. And the nice thing about tonight, when I was watching, I said, isn't it wonderful with no helmets? You can see who's out there. And it's a fact. I think one of the drawbacks in our game, and probably the best protection we got, is we can't sell an individual. We have to sell a game. And I think the game has to be sold as an individual, because people hang their hats not on a team, but on certain individuals, and I think that's what it has to be.
However we do it, it's always nice to have another look close up at you fellas. Congratulations, Gordie, for your part in it, the winning goal scorer in the final minute of play. We'll have more in just a moment. If there was one to win and one to lose, Team Canada did it in the right order. Winning 12 years ago, losing tonight, but everybody won.
The spirit returns.